Welcome to Heartbeat of Holliston. I'm Ann Jay.
And I'm Mary Greendale.
Tonight, we will follow the progress on Holliston's Habitat for Humanity homes, go on a ride with local car buffs, and learn the latest from our community farm and from Pinecrest Golf Course.
Our guests tonight include an award-winning author and a member of our Mudville baseball team. Let's get this show going with some news. So the news from Habitat for Humanity. Work continues to progress on the 2 homes that Habitat for Humanity is building on Chamberlain Street. The Holliston Local Project Committee has been successful in securing in-kind donations from many local companies. In addition, they created a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign that raised $50,000 toward a challenge grant match. To date, they have reached nearly $430,000 toward their goal of $450,000. In May, over 100 women came out to build at the site as part of Habitat for Humanity's Women Build Week. This really helped to complete the outside of the homes, and work is now focused on the interior. You can see from these photos how the houses are taking shape. Both homes on Chamberlain Street are on target for completion this fall. The partner families have been working on site on a regular basis, putting in their sweat equity hours. If you are interested in learning more about the project, go to the Habitat for Humanity Metro West Greater Worcester website and search for the Chamberlain Street project.
Each year, the Horror Writers Association presents the Bram Stoker Awards for superior achievement in dark fantasy and horror writing. The award is named in honor of Bram Stoker, author of Dracula. This year's winner is Tom Deady with his book Haven. Tom joins the company of other winners such as Stephen King, Ray Bradbury, and J.K. Rowling. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the book.
Yeah.
Sure. The book is a horror novel. It's basically about some small-town boys that battle a monster, but it's really more of a story about the characters in the book, and the horror is really the backdrop. It's really a story of redemption and second chances and scars.
Wow, it sounds great. I'm not usually driven to horror, driven away from, but I think I may try this one because all of the reviews mention your characters. They call them, this one was a well-drawn, true-to-life cast of characters, deep characters. I mean, really great kudos as far as the characters go.
Thank you. I'm really excited that that's the focus that people have put on it, because that's really what my story is about. It's very character-driven, and I'm very proud that people took note of that.
Where'd those characters come from?
A lot of them came from my childhood. I grew up in Malden, which wasn't really a small town like Haven, but it felt like it when I was growing up. And, things were different back in the 70s, and I think I drew a lot of personal experience and just painted it a little differently in the novel.
I like how did you choose the name Haven, which would seem like someplace safe, but it's not.
Well, it's not in the story, but I do have a lot of backstory on the town itself, and the story behind Haven is it was a safe haven for people that were being accused of witches back in Salem.
Oh.
Escaped Salem and formed this new town, and so it kind of has a double meaning there.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're writing your habit of writing. How do you, when do you write? Do you write morning, noon, and night?
Mostly late at night, mostly with headphones on and old classic rock music playing.
Okay. And do you have a day job?
I do. I'm an IT manager at UMass Memorial in Worcester.
So that's a big job. So it's, yeah.
Quite
a little stressful, yeah.
Yeah. There could be some real horror in that one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we joke about it at work a lot that it's really going to be a sitcom, not a horror story, but...
Okay, they can be successful,
Yeah, that's right. It'd be like The Office, only in a hospital.
So, can we take a look at the book?
Absolutely,
yeah,
sure.
Great. And so this is your first novel.
It is.
And you won this award with it. It's
correct.
fantastic.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
That
seems like it would be unheard of.
Well, the Stoker Award has several categories, and the category I won was actually for first novel,
Oh, well, that
so
makes
narrows
sense.
down the field a little bit, but
Still
yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And is this the award?
This is the actual
I love
Stoker
it.
Award,
Yeah.
so it's your haunted house, and it's got some tentacles, and the cool thing is, which I don't know if you can see, is it's inscribed with the name of the book and my name.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's a pretty cool award.
Yeah, that really
It is a
is.
very cool award.
Yeah.
It looks like the Addams family is going to walk out the front door.
Yeah, that's why I love horror, things like that.
Okay. So as a theme, you say there's a monster in it. So how does this monster play?
So the monster is really a man-made monster. I did quite a bit of research on genetic splicing and recombinant DNA and things like that. So it was really a monster
I'm out
created back during World War II as a weapon, and for different reasons. Without spoiler
No, give it away,
alerts,
yeah.
it kind of hibernates for a while and comes back. So it lives in the lake, so don't go near the lake.
A
Don't go near
lake?
the lake. Okay.
Yeah, great summer reading if you're staying
Lake
out at a
Winthrop,
lake
my favorite
somewhere.
place in Holliston. Can never go back in there again.
Yeah, and I just want to know how you start.
I start with a scene or a character usually. I have a random idea for something that happens to somebody or just a character itself, and I just build on that. Haven was actually written over quite a long period of time and very disjointed. I'd get an idea for something that happened, but it might not happen till the end of the book. So when I finally thought I was done, it was like a jigsaw puzzle, putting it all together to make sure everything was in order and there were no, plot flaws or timing issues. I've tried since then to write more sequentially to avoid that, but sometimes I just get an idea and run with it.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to work as you described,
Yeah.
parts and pieces, and then I look at it and go,
Exactly. I actually had about 100 index cards and just moving them all around, trying to make them fit.
that's
makes
wonderful.
sense.
I am really impressed. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed.
Thank you.
And your wife has been wonderful in her promotional efforts.
My wife is the most supportive person, and she lets me write. She gives me time. If I'm goofing off and not writing, she'll make me go write. So
Good for her.
it's my second book is dedicated to her, and my dedication was, it's nice to have a dream, but it's nicer to have someone to share it with. And
Oh,
she's
pretty.
great.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh.
Good for you. Well, congratulations.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah, what an interesting tale. It sounds like a good summer read.
Check it out.
Well, the community farm has come a long, long way in the past year. We now have the first community honeybee apiary in the state. There was a ribbon cutting at their family day, which was held June 11th. And here's the story.
It's a beautiful summer afternoon here at the Holliston Community Farm. This is a place where Holliston residents can farm for themselves and learn all about farming. Let's hear from Chris Westland what's happening here at the farm today. What does a right to farm community mean?
So a right to farm community means that even if your property is residential, it's not zoned agricultural, you can farm on it. You can have chickens, you can have livestock. You just have to make sure that your neighbors are okay with it. Like manage the odors, manage the mess, make sure it's not messy, and the noise, like roosters are noisy. But most people, that's why they move to Holliston, is for that right to farm.
And you can do that on any size yard you want, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, there are no restrictions.
That's really cool that farming is coming back, even in suburbs like Holliston. And I guess that's why we have a community farm here in Holliston. What benefits does a community farm do for us citizens? What are some of the benefits that you guys have in mind?
So we're actually trying to figure that out now from feedback from the community. But, we have the community garden plots. We're going to be opening up a community apiary for beekeepers. If you don't have space to keep bees, if you don't have space to have a garden, you can use this land. It would be a great educational opportunity to have workshops and all that here. And part of this property is also open space, so there are places to walk around and just enjoy nature. Our committee is actually tasked to come up with a RFP to have somebody come in and take over the property in a way that would be useful for the community. So that's our mission as a committee.
yeah, there's a lot going on there then, and so you've got a lot. It's come a long way in the last year, I know, and that's why I think something exciting is going on this weekend. You're having a family day here at the farm. What's going to be happening there?
So the Family Farm Day, it's our first one. We're going to have some vendors here, centered around farming. Franklin Agway, the Overshiners with perennials, and they have a CSA going. Some alpacas. PJ Kilkelly's going to have his farm animals here. We'll have tractors on display. There's a sawmill demo. So a portable sawmill demo by Jim Turali. We have a band playing all day, and we have some speakers about pruning and cranberries. There's a gentleman coming up from the Cape to talk about cranberries, because Holliston is about the most northern point where there were cranberries, and there are some located behind the elementary and middle school area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and it's a fundraiser too, right?
Correct. Because the community voted to buy this property, but there is no funding for it, and so the Friends of the Holliston Community Farm was organized to help raise funds for improvements, and because the property needs a lot of work, even if we put an RFP out, which is going to take a bit. We still need to fix some stuff around here.
Tell me about the apiary. How did you get the idea to have a community apiary? This is a pretty big deal in Massachusetts now.
Yeah, actually, it's the first one in the state of Massachusetts. I took I'm a beekeeper for about 5 years now, and I took a class with a master beekeeper from Pennsylvania, and he has Berg Bees has opened a community apiary in Pittsburgh. And so I liked the idea of it, and I was just new to the board last year at the time, and I thought it'd be a good idea around here, and there were people that were very excited about it, the selectmen and their beekeepers. So I decided to, figure out how to get it done, and we worked with the Conservation Commission. We're back in the open space area, and you could pay $25 to rent a hive site. It gets you a pair of cinder blocks to set your hive on. You need to provide your own equipment and bees, and you need to know what you're doing with beekeeping. If you haven't taken any bee school or you don't have any experience, then it's not a good place to start.
Right.
So, but it's just for a collaborative beekeeping environment. It's good for control of the varroa mite that's been attacking our bees, and the state inspector is very excited about it because it's another community site. There are two others in the state of Massachusetts. One is the state apiary out by UMass Amherst, and then there's one up in the North Shore, but it's not a community apiary. It's just another place to have, demonstrations, I guess. So I've been talking to the local bee clubs and just trying to get the word out about it.
Well, we're going to be excited to see what happens at the ribbon cutting this weekend. Thank you very much, Chris. Jim, you have a portable sawmill. Tell me how you got into this.
Well, many years ago, probably 30 years ago, I came to Holliston. I had some logs, some very nice walnut that I wanted to have sawn, and the only person around when I called Wood-Mizer and asked around was Bob Herrick. Bob and Dave Herrick live on Locust Street here, and they had a Wood-Mizer sawmill. So I met with them and got to talking to them, eventually became friends and worked with them for a while and got my logs sawed and helped them saw logs, and I kind of got bit by the bug there.
So how do you use it? Do you just go around and saw for people, and how does it work?
Well, it's trailerable. I tow it with the truck.
Yep.
So I can come to your house, and if you have a tree down that you'd like to have sawn up, I can do it right there on site. Or if you can bring the logs to me, I could do it at my place and stack it and sticker it like you see here. So
what did you do here for the community farm?
Well, because the farm doesn't have any funding, we were looking for a way to reside the barn. So I said, well, why don't we just use the trees that are on the property? So we took down 3 pine trees and brought them out of the woods, brought them up here, set up the saw, and sawed the logs into 1x12 boards that we're going to use for the siding for the barn.
They smell really good too. Wait, fresh wood. Do they have to cure before you can put them on the siding?
They'll probably sit for however long it takes. It's probably going to be sometime in August when the work gets started there, so that'll be long enough for them to dry out and lose their surface water. But in the old days, farmers would just saw up whatever they needed and build their barns and just let it shrink in place.
So you're going to be at Farm Data Mart, you're going to be showing the sawmill and operating it and showing people how it works, right?
Right. I'll have it set up, and I have a big pine log that I'm going to bring along and cut into nice 2x6s for another farm up the street that needs it for fencing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This is Chris O'Lawless for the Heartbeat of Holliston.
Well, that was quite a video. I was there that day. It was wonderful. The whole event was wonderful. I think everyone will be farming in Holliston before long, and I'm all in favor of that. So to join the farm and volunteer, visit its webpage at www.holliston.com, that's C-O-M-M, Unity Farm. Oh, well, it's community. Let me start that again. www.hollistoncommunityfarm.org. It's much easier that way.
Well, if it's summer, it means baseball in Holliston. Old-time baseball, that is. Let's greet Steve the Babe McCumber, a member of the Mudville Baseball Club. Hi, Steve.
Hi, how is everyone doing?
Good. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we probably should start off with the weather has not necessarily been cooperating for you this year, has it?
No, we really haven't had much of an opportunity to play on the field yet. So we had one game rained out, the first one, and then we were able to play a couple games down in Dartmouth, Mass. a few weeks ago. Okay. And just the way the schedule came about, the month of June was pretty open, but starting this coming Sunday, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that, July is going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
I think for some people, they may not even know what you guys are. Mudville old-time baseball. Okay.
So this is actually the 15th year. It started in 2003, and there was a game. I wasn't involved back then. I started a couple years after, but I believe Joanne Hulbert was instrumental in getting it together, and John Shanahan, of course, was very instrumental in getting it together. And it was just a game in town between, I believe, the police and the fire department on one side and the library cards on the other side. And it was that game was 1858 rules, which really do not. It's more like cricket than it is baseball today. And the Mudville baseball team came about, and we started originally playing 1858 rules, but since then we've evolved more into the 1860s, where the game is pretty similar, with a few exceptions to the game it is today. So it's it's just been a lot of fun. It's historical. It's something a little bit more competitive than old man softball. And after the end of any games we play, we've met people from all over the country, and we'll go out and have a couple beers and just become friends for life.
You've traveled, too. You've traveled quite distances. You've been to, San Francisco, or out on the West Coast. You've been to Chicago.
Yeah, San Francisco, Chicago. We played on the Hermitage, which was Andrew Jackson's estate in Nashville.
Oh, nice.
We played in Lincoln Park in downtown Chicago, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and 2 years ago at the Field of Dreams field in Iowa.
Did you?
Wow.
Yes.
I must have missed that chapter.
Yeah. Again, just the connection with Mudville, I think. Well, first, there's a Vintage Baseball Association in the U.S., and there's a regional one in New England. But this is catching on all over the country, and we are just a popular team because of the Mudville connotation. So, you meet people at a game or something. When we travel, sometimes there'll be teams, we'll play in tournaments, and there'll be teams from other parts of the country, and they want to come and play us. And then, we've had some teams play in Holliston, but more often than we don't play that often in Holliston. And there's no real specific reason for that other than challenge getting fields. George's Island in Boston is probably our favorite place to play.
You had some group from Maine, Diablos or something?
The Dirigo Baseball Club in
And then the
Portland.
next day you were going to George's Island. So
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I taped that show. Yeah.
We play there every year. It's just it's the old Civil War fort and the courtyard in between.
Oh.
Baseball back then wasn't played on a diamond. It was just wherever you could find a place to play.
Yeah.
And it's just with that fort as the background, it's just a lot of fun.
Do you have a good video of that, I hope?
Eddie Hunter is he videotapes everything.
That's
so I think we have significant videotape library of a lot of different things.
Can anybody join this?
Unfortunately, probably no. I think a lot of people, John Shanahan really started it, and I think he controls And as we've gotten the last few years, one of the challenges is our team is getting older. I think half the roster is probably past the age of 60 now, and there's been times where we haven't been able to compete necessarily with some of the teams we've been playing, mainly because they've been the younger players. So John maintains a list, I think, of people that are interested. So if anyone is interested in playing, I would urge them to get a hold of John. And, there's times where we may be short players. So John, I think, does keep a list of people, and he has called people in to play occasionally. And I think there's a number of people that really would like to play. We just have to have a few more of us retire.
Well, that's okay. That's kind of too bad.
Well, there was like 2 years ago. I think there was I think we went through an entire year without winning a game, and then so John did recruit like 5 or 6 younger players, like really good baseball players. So now the last couple of years we've been pretty competitive again.
How often do you practice to get together?
Practice? So typically, you think of, and this is, we play 5 or 6 weekends a year at most, so it's not a big time commitment. But we always laugh and joke that spring training is the Hartford St. Patrick's Day Parade, which unfortunately this year we weren't able to attend because I think the parade is having financial difficulties and they wanted to charge anybody interested in marching. So we, at the last minute, Andy Porter arranged for us to march in the Boston Parade, which we had never done before with the Lions. Typically, we might have one practice a year in the spring.
That's just to warm up their drinking elbow more than anything. I don't think that's a serious.
Remind each other of their names and what positions they play.
Yeah, it's the social aspect, and Mary, you're asking some of the, if people aren't familiar with the game, by the time into the 1860s where we typically play, things had evolved a lot. It is a diamond. It is 9 innings. It is 3 outs per inning. So all those things really just evolved from 1858 to like 1862 in a 3 or 4 year period. We don't wear gloves. That's the biggest difference.
There's also a thing about your pop. There's something about when you hit it up.
Pop fly?
Yes.
Pop flies.
So if you ball's in the air, you can catch on one bounce and it's an out, and that's really in nature because you don't have gloves. Like if somebody's playing an infield, the ball is not as hard as a regular baseball, but it is still pretty hard. Yeah. So a third baseman might have a line shot at him. Trying to catch it barehanded is hard. So a technique may be is that they may knock that ball down on the ground, have it bounce up, and then they catch it and it's an out. Or somebody's playing the outfield, if there's a real high fly, eventually you learn there's a sort of a technique to catch a ball in the air, but until then, you always have the option of letting it hit the ground. But again, we weren't playing on baseball diamonds, and they weren't playing on baseball diamonds. We played in a field in Colorado that actually had gopher holes, literally that would go up to your knee if you stepped into it. So most of the fields we play in are not true. So you're running the risk of letting the ball bounce, that it's not going to bounce back to you. It may bounce behind you or bounce to the side, and then everyone's laughing at you because.
Did anybody get it down the gopher hole?
No, but a few. Like feet went down. There were no serious injuries that week, but it was pretty.
Well, I have gone and watched a game, and the game itself is interesting because it is enough different. It is interesting, but it's always fun. You guys are just a barrel of laughs more than anything else. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the best part of it. It's a very good group of guys, and we've been doing it for a long time.
Oh, sounds like you have a lot of fun at keeping the sport alive.
Yeah, and again, I think there's been it's provided us some opportunities just in the last few years. I think 2 years ago, we were on national TV twice in the same summer. CBS Evening News did a little spot on us. We were playing the Dirigo team up in Maine. They're the ones who had arranged that. Then a few weeks later, a show called the 36 Hours from the Travel Channel.
I saw that one actually.
Yeah, so they came to Holliston over at Goodwell Park and filmed us. And then, I think there's been some rumors and stuff about an impending event happening. And I did hear that. Yeah, so I didn't know if we were allowed to talk about that, but maybe I can mention a little thing. There were a number of players on our team, plus a number of other younger baseball players in Holliston. In April, we spent the day at Fenway Park filming some scenes for a soon-to-be released. This is a major motion picture. This isn't just like a documentary or something. This is a pretty significant major motion picture. The movie is going to be called The Catcher Was a Spy, and it's based on a true story of about Paul Rudd, who was a baseball player in the 20s and 30s. He spent some time with the Red Sox, played with a number of different teams. He was a catcher. He was also, I believe, the first Jewish player to play in.
Wow.
Oh, excuse me. It's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's the actor. Mo Berg.
I was going to say, wow, I've heard of him.
Yes.
No.
Paul Rudd was the actor. Paul Rudd's the actor playing Mo Berg.
Okay.
So the catcher's name was Mo Berg.
Mo Berg. Okay.
That makes much more sense. We are just about out of time here, so how about you quickly wrap up? When is that film coming out?
Either the very end of next year or very end of this year, early next year.
And you guys, so you're actually, well, you don't know. You might end up on the cutting floor.
A lot of us, but I think we've got to the point now. We know that a few influential Holliston people will make it. So I think when people watch the movie, they'll be able to see it.
That's a hoot. That's a hoot.
Oh, great.
Well, I want to tell you about the Pats. You remember the Blueberry Farm? The Pats had their fire at their house. Well, Henry and Elizabeth Pat from Pick Your Own Blueberries are living comfortably in Hopkinton for now as they await the construction of their replacement home. Their fire-ravaged home was torn down last week, and next the foundation will be removed. They're doing very well and remain very grateful to the 441 donors who contributed $34,050 in online donations to help them through this transition. The Pats will begin selling blueberries on July 6th, just as they do every year, but the tent will be located in the field across the street from the construction area. They will be open on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Stop by, pick a bucket of berries or two, and say hello to the Pats. They'd love to see you. The Holliston Business Association Spring Stroll was fun. I was there. Kids made slime at Fisk's, and there was music, face painting, and cute animals. Over at the high school, Art Saves Lives showcased student talent. Let's watch. The walk for Madame Cacavalli was a complete success. 130 people participated, and a few dogs as well. They raised $5,000 for the Holliston Scholarship Foundation from those who walked and from an incredible number of sponsors, notably the Holliston Reporter, Bright Agency Jensen Sheehan, the Candy Cottage, the Yoga Exchange, Handstad Wealth Management, Andy Rodenheiser Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, Holliston Glass and Mirror, Quality Auto Body, Holliston Animal Services, Inc., Holliston Meadows, Inc., Bertucci's, and Michael Rossini Electric. From a statement by Michaela Michelli, who organized the walk, Teresa Cacavalli will be forever remembered for her spirit and immeasurable commitment and dedication to her students.
The Holliston Historical Society preserves our historical records and traditions and helps our citizens to understand the history of our town. The number of interesting events they sponsor has exploded in the past couple of years. Coming in 2017 and 18 are a genealogy program, an antiques show and tell, a moth radio storytelling hour, and an historical interpreter. Their springtime fundraiser is the Taste of Holliston, and this year over 200 people enjoyed cuisine from all over the world by 19 different vendors. Let's hear from the members, vendors, and guests.
My name is Beate Haight, and I am the external vice president of the Historical Society. Today we're here for a Taste of Holliston. We're expecting between 200 and 300 attendees to sample some cuisine of restaurants and wine tastings from the area, and we have 19 vendors here. So a lot of different cuisines from Mexican, Indian. There's Diner, Bada Bings is here, Cravings, TC Scoops, JL Catering. There's lots of different people.
We come from Los Cabos Mexican restaurant in Ashland, and my name is Lalo, and he's Jacob, and he's Kendra. We prepare Mexican food. We had also a bar in Ashland, good margaritas, good food, Taco Tuesday, $1 taco every Tuesday.
I'm Laura, and with me today is Sixto and Darcy, and we will be serving a cucumber corn salad, a bolognese sauce, superette root beer, and a Kerrygold cheese.
My name's John Boardman. We're JL Catering out of Medway. We're located in the Ocean State Job Lot Plaza. We're a full-service catering company. Not much we can't do. We do barbecues, weddings, graduation parties, little intimate dinners for two. We try and do it all.
Hi, my name is Lisa De Cruz. I'm with my friend Celeste Neveu. We both work at Lever's Market and Catering. And today we're serving chicken marsala and meatballs.
I'm Tina Camini, the owner of TC Scoops in Medway, and this is my 4th year here at the Taste, and I am here this year specifically to let people know that we are so much more than just an ice cream parlor.
Hi, I'm Andrea with Alex of Depot Package Store in Holliston, and today we are serving 4 different wines, a Rosé, a Sauvignon Blanc, a Pinot Noir, and a Shiraz from Australia. We're also serving a Session IPA from Founders, as well as margaritas.
Hi, I'm Helen. I'm here from Cravings Grill and Ice Cream in Millis, Mass. And today we're going to be featuring some of our Greek specialties.
Hi, I'm Denise Tracy from Jasper Hill Cafe and Bistro. And today we have a strawberry and goat cheese salad, an apple and walnut salad, and we have a lemon chicken soup.
My name is Mark Kitsis. I'm from Bertucci's of Holliston, and today we're serving our famous Tuscan chicken wings.
Yeah, I'm the owner of Yamafuji, and we're serving variety of different kinds of sushis.
This is the 10th annual Taste of Holliston, and the proceeds benefit the Holliston Historical Society to help with us putting on other events and educational things and upkeep of the property.
Looked like a lot of fun.
I wanted to go, and I didn't get there this year. I usually do.
I didn't get there either, but it looked like they had great weather too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
they
glad.
did. They did. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it grows every year. That's the important thing.
It's a good fundraiser for the society.
Yeah. The society's initiatives for this year include redoing the gardens, general upkeep of the house and property, and to create a climate-controlled space for the historic collections. These members have a wonderful sense of community, and our children learn a lot at the 18th century days.
Well, summer for many people means playing golf at Pinecrest, and here's Deborah Moore with a story.
This is Deb Moore at Pinecrest Golf Course with Joe Ekstrom, the Regional Superintendent for Johnson Management, on a wonderful, wonderful spring afternoon, almost summer afternoon. Joe, I understand we have quite a few exciting projects here at Pinecrest Golf Course this year, and one of them, to start out with, is new cart paths. You want to tell us about the project?
Yes, well, we are approved to get some new cart paths in, and we're doing 3 different locations, over 3,000 linear feet, and we're going to be doing holes 15, 16, 17, 18, and 7 and 8. So we're going to have asphalt, complete asphalt cart paths, unlike what we have now, and it'll be a huge improvement to what we have. They'll hold up in the weather and the rain, and they won't get flooded out and washed out like they currently do on occasion when we get a lot of rain and the cart paths go through them. So it'll be a big improvement on the golf course.
I understand there's much needed bridge work that's going to be part of that cart path over by 7 and 8. You want to tell us what's going to happen with that? We're
going to redo the bridges on 8, 2 bridges, and we're going to also do the little bridge on 9 that goes over the drainage area. We're going to construct some new bridges, and we'll get those in place first, and then we'll pave to the bridges, and it'll be a nice smooth transition. It's a little rough go right now for the carts and for our golfers, so it should be a big improvement.
I think the golfers are really going to love that. That will be money well spent.
I agree.
It'll improve the conditions of the course so much.
I agree. I think that's probably our target project now is the cart pass for sure. That's been a long time coming.
Great. We're so excited to have that start, and I understand it's going to start pretty soon.
Yeah, we're waiting for some areas to dry out. The 7th and 8th is a notoriously wet area, and that has to dry out with all the rain we've had. And we're kind of just waiting for our contractor to work us into his schedule, and we were expecting to get it done in June, maybe run into July a little bit, I would say, but it'll be coming up quick here.
I also understand that you're going to do some work on the irrigation system, upgrade that a little bit. Some other places that hasn't had irrigation in the past. You want to tell us what you're going to do with that?
Yeah, so the other side of the street, Prentice Street 2 through 8, are only irrigated currently with the tees and tees and greens, and the fairways never had irrigation in them. And we have, over the winter, last December, we started a project, and we irrigated 5 of the fairways in the worst places, all the par 4s, and we did center row automatic irrigation, and that came out excellent. It works good with great coverage, and we are currently now overseeding those fairways because the last 3 years, as you guys all know, it's been very dry, and we lost a lot of turf out there. You just couldn't keep up with it, and so now at this point, my feeling is those will be some of the best fairways on the golf course once we finish the project, the seeding, and which we're currently doing now.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. So there's big improvements on the way, and I understand, that invasive program that you started a couple of years ago. You're still forging ahead with that and trying to rid parts of the golf course from the invasive species. Can you tell us what you're going to be doing this year with that? Well,
ridding is it's a tough word because you're never rid of it. It's just an ongoing battle. You cut it down, it comes back. So it's just trying to keep up with it. But we have a machine that works well. I think we did one of our previous shows with me on it, actually a couple of years ago. So I don't even remember that, but we will be on that. It's hole by hole, area by area, but it's just a matter of staying on top of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's great. We're really happy that you're sticking with that project. Yep. I know as a member of HIB, that's one of the things that we're going to highlight at the golf course when America in Bloom comes there for the tour. That's something that we're very proud of, so we really thank Johnson Management for buying that special piece of equipment and making all that happen for the golf course property.
Sure, absolutely.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about that's new this year?
Well, we're just going to continue working on car pass, other than the ones that we mentioned, just ongoing. Working on car pass, improving turf conditions. John LeCompte, who's the superintendent, and his staff do a good job, and the greens here are as good as anywhere, I believe, and the tees as well. So it's just a matter of maybe getting those fairways, like we talked about, up to where we want them, and we're going to continue on that. And we brought some new staff members. We have a new assistant golf pro in, which we're excited. His name is Christian, and he works with Bill Allen in his programs. And now we're very happy to be here and excited to work with the town for another 2 years now, so, or more, hopefully.
Right. Well, we're looking forward to the next 2 years as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a great 3 years that you've been here, and you've done a lot of wonderful things for the course. And the play's up, and we're having some really good seasons of late. So we just need the weather to cooperate a tad more than it has this past spring. But we're looking forward to the next 2 years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, as are we. Thank you.
This is Deb Moore at Pinecrest Golf Club for the Heartbeat of Holliston.
She is Ms. Pinecrest.
Yeah.
She has been doing this for years.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into running a golf course, and we're really lucky to have such a recreational resource in town.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. Yeah. Our next guests are recent Holliston High School graduates who have experienced the best that Holliston has to offer in community service and education. Welcome, Brian Chi and Kit Wynn. It's so nice to have you guys join us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. We have to start off with your matching T-shirts.
Oh, yes, we tried to coordinate today.
Yeah, that was thoughtful.
He has a button that you don't have.
Oh, yes.
I mean, yeah, I keep all my pins like close by on my desk, so I always just grab them.
So is it a Lion's pin or something? Like
Yep.
It's a Leo's pin.
It's a Leo's
Everyone
pin.
has it, but
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. It makes it really dresses up a T-shirt, I must say. So,
Well, I'm not even really that familiar with the Leos.
Leos.
Yeah,
Well, why don't you tell us about them?
So the Leo Club, so Leo stands for Leadership Experience Opportunity, and it's a club that we have here at Holliston High School. We have a lot of members, actually. This past year, I think we had 50. And so we try to meet every 2 weeks, and every meeting we offer different community service activities. So it's a really great club because we don't really mandate certain activities and service opportunities, and we offer them, and students are allowed to kind of choose what interests them most, which I really enjoy personally. So in the past, we've had really great opportunities like volunteering for Stop Hunger Now, Cystic Fibrosis Cycle for Life, which is held kind of over by Fatima Shrine in Holliston. And we also do more localized events as well in Holliston. Breakfast with Santa is one of the favorites.
Yeah.
And then the Easter breakfast and the haunted hayride with the Lions a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What do you think you got out of being a Leo, Kit?
I think a lot of experience and meeting a lot of new people, and just getting more involved in the community. I think one of the things that is really nice about Leo's is you get to do real stuff in real life, which is kind of lacking nowadays in high school. Obviously, we get too much screen time, so it's really a good opportunity for a group of friends to just gather around and work on a project and help out the community.
Do you get to work with the adults as well? I mean, so are you learning the skills of working with people that you're not usually socializing with? I mean,
right. Most of the Leo's events, we help out Lions from around, either Holliston Lions or Ashland Lions, Medway Lions, and they're great mentors to us. They guide us along, and
yeah, I think that's great. That's great. So what are you guys going to do after summer?
Well, I'm attending George Washington University down in D.C. in the fall. I'm planning on studying international relations. And Kit is going to just a school.
Where are you going?
Thanks for the introduction. I'm going to Harvard in the fall. and planning to study something in the engineering field, probably computer engineering, computer science. Yeah.
Now, I was at graduation, so I got to hear you speak. You were valedictorian, as I recall. And you mentioned that you were born in, was it Vietnam?
Yes.
And then you went to the Czech Republic, which I thought was an interesting shift, you know, and then you came here. So just when you were in any one of those transitions, did you see yourself going to Harvard?
No, absolutely not. Like, freshman year when I first came here, like my goal was just to, you know, finish my English class and not cry too much about it. Because like people, you know, like coming into freshman year, you're just writing, you know, papers and essays, and like everyone's writing 5 pages, and then, you know, I barely get 2.5 pages, and then my teacher, Miss Frost, would just give me a good grade for the fact that I'm trying. But yeah, so
effort counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get from Vietnam to the Czech Republic? I got to know.
My parents ventured out there to, you know, offer us a better education and environment to live in, really, because Vietnam is, it is getting better now, but it's still very crowded and polluted, and the system is kind of corrupted, and there are a lot of issues back there. And we had an aunt and uncle already in the Czech Republic, so they helped us out.
That answers that.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how did you decide to go into the international relations?
I've long had an interest in languages, so I love Spanish. I think all of my friends know that because I talk it just as much as English. Yeah.
Well, do me a favor, don't break into it now.
Yeah, everyone understands.
So I really love languages, and I also have a pretty big interest and passion for politics as well. So kind of merging those together and seeing what comes out of it.
I have the same passion. Unfortunately, really, friends really get upset with you after a while. Get pretty tired of seeing you talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as Leo's, what's the takeaway, and how do other people get involved?
Well, it's super easy to get involved at Leo's, especially if you're a high school student, because it is a high school club. So there's club fairs in the fall where we do sign-ups, and then you can come at any point in the year as well and just jump in and sign up. We have inductions pretty regularly for new members. And we really recommend it. I mean, the camaraderie in the club, among other things, is really, it's phenomenal. You get to become so close with all of the people because you work at so many different events and volunteer at so many different places together that you really develop great relationships with each other. I remember one event that I did that was my highlight of my high school Leo career was attending a Lions dinner conference with the international president, Bob Corlew, of the Lions Club, and it was so cool to meet him because he's so busy and he's traveling all over the world, going to different places, so it was so cool to have him kind of locally and have that opportunity to meet him. So
you're going to be a Lion?
Maybe
at some
one
point.
day. Yep.
Think you will too, Kit?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow, good for you.
That's great. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks to both of you. And you know what? And best of luck in college.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. To commemorate the 45 years of the Honeywell Hillclimb, the American Bugatti Club and Vintage Sports Car Club of America held a rally, lunch, and dinner on Saturday, May 20th. Many of the former entrants and attendees of the Hillclimb drove their vintage cars to Holliston to join in the rally. Tom Clifford of Holliston organized the event. Tom is a Bugatti enthusiast and a former participant in the Honeywell Hillclimb. The rally is no longer, that is, it stopped, but memories persist. Those who ran the climb, which served as a private driveway the other 364 days of the year, welcomed the chance to get together to view the cars and share memories and drive together once more. Let's take a look at those cars.
Okay, I'm here with Tom Clifford. Tom, you organized this event today. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's really in honor of the Honeywell Hillclimb, which was stopped 2 years ago. So we're going to go on a 50-mile rally in the morning go to Johnstone's Inn, an old antique inn, for lunch. Then we're going to visit one of the club members, Howard Fafford's collection in Framingham. Then we're going to go on to the Wayside Inn. We're going to stop at the grist mill, and they're going to fire it up, and we're going to watch that in operation. Then we're going to go have dinner at the Wayside Inn, which we used to do a number of times when we raced at the Honeywell Hillclimb. And many of the cars here today used to race in the old days at the Honeywell Hillclimb.
That's great. How many cars do you expect today?
We probably have about 18 cars and 30 people.
Wow, and you got a perfect day for it.
Oh yes, we do. We do.
All right, Tom, well, thanks for inviting us along.
Okay, you're welcome.
John Foster from Holliston. John, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Tell us about your car.
Well, it's a 1962 Jaguar E-Type. It was my father's car.
Nice.
He bought it in 1975. I call it saved it because it was in pretty rough shape when he got it, and he did the hard work on it. Took the cylinder head off of it, did some work on that, did the rear end, had it painted, and unfortunately he passed away in 2012. So I am the caretaker now. You don't own them, you just look after them until the next person takes over.
You're doing a good job of it. I see you driving around town all the time.
Yeah, I enjoy driving it.
Mark Evans from Huntington, Connecticut. This is a 1951 Morgan Plus 4 drop head, which is one of 117 built. It's sort of an oxymoron because it's a luxury Morgan, which makes very little sense. In fact, it makes such little sense that not too many of them were ever made and sold. But you can see it has a rather elaborate top that goes up and down and glass side curtains, and instead of cut down doors, it has relatively high doors. So surprisingly enough, in inclement weather, it's really kind of pleasant.
John Milligan. I come from Andover.
Did you drive this all the way down from Andover?
Oh yeah, it goes everywhere under its own power.
Wow. Now I understand you've owned this for a long time. When did you buy it?
1961. It was a semi-basket case. It ran, but it didn't have a start. It needed a whole bunch of stuff. It had been thrown away, discarded, and a couple guys tried to fix it and ran into trouble, and I bought the project. It's a 53 Pontiac spruce green. You see this funny looking green paint underneath?
Yeah.
The Riley people call that an almond green.
Oh.
We call it hen poop green, but that's okay.
How's it going? I'm Sam Law, and I'm from Dover, Massachusetts, and this is my 1929 Ford Model A pickup truck. I got it about 4 years ago and spent those 4 years restoring it, doing a full nut and bolt restoration. I worked with my dad's friend Spencer Gooder, and he sort of mentored me and taught me how to restore cars, and pretty much did everything on the car, doing paint, doing hydraulic brakes, overdrive, anything you name it, doing a full restoration, and here it is today.
I am French indeed, and I am a Bugattist in France. Now I'm living in America for a bit more than 2 years, and unfortunately I haven't brought my car here, that's for sure. Nevertheless, actually we just come back from a rally in France, which was 2 weeks ago, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the French Bugatti Club. It was in the Périgord, so we had a very nice time all together. And I used to drive Type 37, which is a 4-cylinders, but without any supercharge. And this one that Tom is very, very kind to borrow us is a Type 37A, which is a 4-cylinder supercharged.
Wow, they certainly drove some picturesque back roads. If you notice the yellow Ferrari, it belongs to our own Paul Saunier. Thanks, Paul, for covering this unique event.
So in another kind of vehicle experience, the Holliston Newcomers Touch a Truck was a chance for kids of all ages to get close and personal with many types of motor vehicles.
Hi, your names are?
Christine, Angela, and Leah.
And what are you really going to be doing today here?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Touching trucks. Touching trucks.
We are going to be setting up trucks. Everyone else will be touching them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have about 25
Yeah, I think about
trucks
25
from
trucks.
all over the community who have come to put their trucks on display and let kids have fun with them because
trucks
that's
are
what
awesome.
they like
Trucks
doing.
are
awesome. Yeah.
And
we have good food.
Yes, so much food and vendors, and all the truck guys have been awesome to just donate their entire day to do this.
Yep.
And how did you get the idea to do this?
Well, this is actually a newcomers event. They've done it before. We just decided to bring it back this year. So it's been around in the past. They're very popular with the kids, as you can see by all the kids that are showing up and very excited to be touching this fire truck behind us.
And we all have very young children, so we understand the excitement of events like this because we like to take our kids to them too. We can tell you what the fundraiser is benefiting.
Yes.
Right? So it's going to benefit the Holliston Newcomers Club. We are a nonprofit organization here in Holliston who does a lot of different things, but a big portion of the fundraising goes towards grants that the community puts in for consideration, and then depending on the amount of money we have, we fund an assortment of grants. Can you guys talk about maybe the grants?
Yeah, so you've seen,
Oh, no. It's the library passes are a big one.
That's big.
The Holliston and Bloom.
Yeah, all those flowers downtown.
Community
Project.
Farm. Auxiliary
PTO.
Police. Some of the Cultural Connection programs at the school get funding through us. So
You know
we're
about
able to
those?
donate to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's really important. I think a lot of people have heard the Holliston Newcomers Club and have heard about these great programs, but don't necessarily put them together. And by coming to Touch a Truck, you're helping support those programs. It's really exciting.
Thanks to our Cub reporter, Allison McGrath, for such a good job.
Well, the Timothy O'Connell Foundation was established in 2008 in honor and memory of Timothy O'Connell, who I might add would have graduated this year. Its goals are to fund research for cures for acute myeloid leukemia and other cancers affecting children, and to provide scholarships and grants to those pursuing health-related studies. Since its inception, the foundation has granted more than $400,000 in gifts and scholarships to worthy recipients. One of its signature events is a unique chef's private tasting night. Heartbeat was honored to cover the 5th annual Orange Appeal.
Joanne and I are parents of Timothy O'Connell. We lost Tim to cancer. It'll be 9 years ago this September. And so in his memory, we founded a 501c3 charity called the Timothy O'Connell Foundation. And we do a few things a year. Some people know Tim's Trot, and some people are aware of the Timmy Cake sales that Joanne and her team do in September of each year. In April, this is now the 5th year in a row, we're having something we call the Orange Appeal. Orange is the color of leukemia awareness, and that's the cancer that took Tim's life. We have the use of the facilities here in Milford, Mass, with the great generosity of the Clark family. Clark Kitchen Design Center here. It's a fabulous showroom. We have live kitchen setups out front, and Joanne with her chef pals 5 years ago came up with the idea that if we use this facility, got some beer and wine donated, and had a nice evening, we might be able to have a silent auction and raise some money. And a couple $100,000 later, we are happy to say we've been able to do that. We've expanded it a little bit this year, as we did last year. We have a bit of a program where we are having Charlotte Beatty this year coming in from Make-A-Wish. She's the CEO of Make-A-Wish, Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and that particular charity has been a beneficiary of some of the giving from the foundation with the money that the community has helped us raise. So we're thrilled to be here, and we're thrilled to have the chance to tell you a bit about it.
Yeah, we also have a lot of volunteers from Holliston who've helped out, who help serve, who help set up. It's a big task to get an event like this off the ground. And another part of the Orange Appeal is that Tim's favorite color was orange, so it's nice to work it in. And everybody enjoys the food, the wine, the beer, and I think kind of mingling among kitchen setups where everybody's most comfortable anyways, so it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're happy to do it. We're not sure if every year we say this will be the last. This may be.
And every year I tell them, no, it's not the last. We will. We'll do it again. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
It is. And again, thank you so much for your interest in letting us tell you a bit about it.
It's a great way to remember Tim, too. His pictures are all around, and I think definitely his spirit is here.
So thank you.
The dedication and generosity of this foundation have made a difference in the lives of many, many people.
Well, that's a wrap for the show. Heartbeat of Holliston is taking a break during the summer, and we will be back in the fall bringing you the people and stories that make Holliston a great town. Let me remind viewers that you can watch Heartbeat of Holliston every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 p.m. on Channel 8 on Comcast and Channel 32 on Verizon. The show is also televised at other times. Check the HCAT schedule. There are many other ways to watch us. You can use any electronic device with video on demand at www.hcattv.org. Click on video to find us. We can now even stream video on your phone. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to join all the others who are watching Heartbeat on YouTube, and check our Facebook page. If you don't get email blasts from HCAT TV, you can. We send out announcements when new shows are scheduled to air. Please contact us by email at office@hcattv.org or call 508-429-8979. With an e-blast, you'll never miss a show you want to watch. One last note, we welcome your comments and ideas at hoh@hcattv.org. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Ann.
And good night, Holliston.
Hi, I'm Melissa Casper, and for our opening episode of this season of Heartbeat of Holliston.
On the next Heartbeat of Holliston.
On the next Heartbeat of Holliston. Coming up on the next Heartbeat of Holliston.
Coming up on the next Heartbeat of Holliston.
Don't miss Heartbeat of Holliston's first show for 2017.
On the next Heartbeat of Holliston.
Don't miss the latest edition of
Heartbeat of Holliston.